It doesn't call the devil name one time in here. It doesn't say devil. It doesn't say God. Nowhere. When Mordecai perceived what was done, Mordecai tore his clothes, rent his clothes, his rent, and put sackcloth on ashes. That's what he did, because that's what the Jews did when times got hard. You get you some ashes and tell God, I humble myself, and you put them ashes on your head. Ashes. You turn black. You tear your clothes, you rend your clothes. And he went out in the midst of the city, and he was crying with a bitter cry in the middle of the city while everybody's looking. He's out there crying in the middle of the city, and it came before the king's gate. And none might enter the king's gate, because you couldn't enter the king's gate in sackcloth. You couldn't come into the palace with sackcloth, because that was a joyous place. It wasn't a time of mourning. And in every province, wherever the king's commandment decree came, there was a great mourning among the Jews. And the Jews started, watch, fasting and weeping and wailing, and many lay in sackcloth and ashes throughout. They said, this is affecting all of us. So Esther's, and who was to think that it was caused? Because one man said, you won't bow down to me, I'm going to kill all your people. You got to understand that mentality of destruction. Mentality of destruction. Did we change our radio again? So Esther's maids and her chamberlain came and told her, she was exceedingly grieved that Mordecai was outside in sackcloth. So she sent him some change of clothes. She said, wear these clothes. Don't do that. Take away your sackcloth from you. And he didn't receive it. Then called Esther for Hathach, one of the king's chamberlain, who had been appointed to attend to her. And he gave the commandment to Mordecai to know what it was. Why is it so? Why won't you receive this? Because she was wondering, well, change clothes. She was not informed about what the real intent was. And most of us, we want to sometimes not understand why we need to come, what we need to do. They don't know the real intent. That people are trying to destroy you, and you're taking it too easy. We take stuff too easy. The church of Vashti. So he went, and when he went to him, Mordecai told him that all that had happened, that the sum of money, they all knew how much money it was that Haman had promised to pay the king's treasurers for the Jews to destroy them. And he gave them a copy in writing of the decree. She gave a copy, because he had a copy of it, to given to Shushan to destroy, and to show it to Esther and declare unto her. Watch this. He gave a copy of the writing of the decree that was given at Shushan, the palace, to destroy them, to show them unto Esther, and to declare it unto her, and to charge her that she should go into the king and make supplication unto him and make request before him for her people. And Hathach really came and told Esther the words of Mordecai. Well, Esther again spoke, and she said, give him this commandment to Mordecai, that all the king's servants and the people of the king's provinces do know that whatever the king, whosoever, whether it be man or woman, shall come into the king's inner court who is not called, there is one law of his to put them to death, except such a one that the king would hold out the golden scepter to, that he may live. But I have not been called in to the king now 30 days. She said, the king hasn't called me in. I'm his wife, and he hasn't called me in for 30 days. Some of you talking about you can't do without somebody 30 days. He called in for 30 days. She hadn't been there with her husband. He hadn't called her in. He was conducting business. And she said, he'll kill me if I walk in there on it and it wasn't commanded. And Mordecai sent a message back to Esther. He said, think not, and this is the part I want you to get, 13th verse of the 4th chapter. Think not with yourself that you shall escape the king's house, in the king's house, more than all the Jews. For if you altogether hold your peace at this time, watch this. Are you listening to me? If you altogether hold your peace at this time. Let's say that together. If you altogether Hold your peace at this time. He said, Esther, understand this. This is his cousin. Sometimes you have to talk to your cousins. Because if you all together hold your peace at this time, then there shall an enlargement, say it, and deliverance arise to the Jews from another place. If you don't do what you're supposed to do, God will have deliverance for us arise from somebody else. Because what we were supposed to do what? They're going to destroy us. They want to destroy us on a what? Day. And those people went straight into fasting and prayer. Watch this. He says, but thou, which is you and your father's house shall be destroyed. And who knoweth whether you will come to the kingdom for such a time as this? Let me tell you something. Everybody doesn't know what they ought to be thinking. That's why you're taught, and that's why you sit down in council or meet in meetings or have a board meeting, because you have to roll that thought out. And because sometimes people, you have to reason it out. This is what's causing us. We need to get this done. This is something we need to sponsor. This is something we need to go after. So Esther sent back a message to the man who had raised her. He was a cousin, but an older cousin. She had been an orphan. She didn't have a mother or daddy. They were dead. And he had brought her up and helped her out. Now, if you notice something, you don't ever hear them say Mordecai had a wife. Mordecai has poured his life into whom? Esther. And he tells this young woman, if you don't do something now, you're going to die. I'm going to die. Our family's going to die. Because we are the ones that were sent. God put us in a place. Look at it now. I went to Yale. I've been to the Broadcasters Hall of Fame. I'm the Hall of Fame, Sarasota. I went to California Diversity Awards, help other people to go. Started a school. If we don't do something, because we know we've been set in a special place. And if we don't do something, he says deliverance will arise out of another place. I have to preach. God called me. Our family has what we have because of the church, because of ministry. 16. Go. That's what she did. She said, go gather all the Jews that are present in Shushan. Now watch what the woman says. 16th verse. Go gather all the Jews that are present in Shushan and fast for me. Gather all the Jews in the palace and fast for me. Don't eat or drink 3 days, day or night. I also and my maidens will fast likewise, and so will I go into the king, which is not according to the law. I'm going to do something that's not lawful. And if I perish, I perish. I'm not going to act like the scary people. It's something maybe nobody's ever done, my age, being the woman I am. Something nobody else has ever done. If I perish, I perish. So Mordecai went his way, and he did everything Esther said, and he called all the people together, and they put on a fast. As I'm ending here on this part, it came to pass on the third day. She didn't waste any time. Joshua, third day, go where? Into the promised land. We can't keep putting things off. You can't be so busy now that everything else is more important, that your mind keeps slipping. I want to say it to everybody. Nothing else could be more important. I'll say it again. Because taking this thing, I'm aware, and the young men that can do these cameras, the people that can mount it on the internet, Everybody's got to understand what your job is. You have to get the word of God out. And it came to pass